A single scream shattered the stillness of the jungle. It wasn't the song of birds or the rustling of leaves. No, this sound was sharper, more desperate. It was a cry that echoed terror, a cry no living creature could afford to ignore. Far below the thick canopy, a baby monkey dangled from a thin branch. Its tiny fingers were slipping, its eyes wide with terror. Just below, something moved. It was silent, coiled and waiting. The air grew heavy, as if the forest itself was holding its breath. Then came another cry, higher this time, echoing through the trees. High above, the troop froze. Then chaos erupted. Mothers clutched their babies close. Young males sprang into action, leaping from branch to branch. Their leader, battle-scarred and fierce, let out a roar that sent birds scattering. They weren't just running, they were racing death. As they rushed to the scene, they found the reason for the commotion. A giant python, scales glinting like polished metal, had wrapped itself around the branch. Its cold eyes focused on the terrified infant. With each passing second, its grip tightened, slowly closing in on its prey. The baby's grip on the twig was failing. 1 second too late and it would be over. When the troop arrived, the alpha lunged first, screaming with such force that the trees trembled. The others followed, surrounding the predator from every side. For a moment, the snake hesitated, then tightened its coils, ready to strike. The baby cried out again, its voice weaker now, cracking with fear. But then something no one expected happened. A young female, barely an adult, launched herself at the snake. She was small, even for a monkey, but her courage was boundless. Claws and teeth flashed as she attacked. Her assault forced the serpent to loosen its grip just enough. In that split second, the alpha seized the opportunity. With a swift movement, he snatched the baby from danger. He pulled it back a few inches, just enough for the snake to miss. Its fangs hit only empty air. The branch shook violently, and with one final desperate twist, the snake fell, disappearing into the undergrowth below. The troop erupted in cries, but these were not cries of fear, rather triumphant screams that pierced the jungle. The baby clung to its rescuer, shivering but alive. The others gathered close, touching it gently as if to remind it that it was safe now. Slowly, the forest began to quiet again. The mother cradled her baby close, as if she would never let go. The young female who had risked her life sat still, her chest rising and falling. Her eyes were locked on the baby she had saved. In the heart of the teeming jungle, where life and death played out on a daily basis, where every rustle could mean danger and every shadow could hold a threat, there existed a bond that transcended fear. A bond between a rescued infant and the one who dared to defy the jaws of death to save him. It had been a day like any other in the dense foliage of the jungle. The sun dripped down through the thick canopy, painting dappled patterns on the forest floor. The gentle chatter of the monkeys mingled with the symphony of the jungle. The gush of the waterfall nearby, the distant call of a bird, and the rustle of unseen creatures in the undergrowth. For our young female monkey, life was all about climbing. She swung with the agility of her elders, leaping from branch to branch, her lithe body navigating the dense foliage with ease. But her favorite pastime was watching the humans in the village near the forest. She would sit high up in the trees, hidden amongst the leaves, and observe them. She marveled at their ways, their laughter, their gestures, and especially their stories. One day, as she perched on a low-hanging branch, she heard screams from the village, sounds of panic and terror. Curiosity overpowering her fear, she peeked down to see what had caused the commotion, and that's when she saw it. A giant python slithering through the village, its scales glistening menacingly in the sun. People ran in terror, their screams echoing the alarm that had been sounded. She knew she had to tell the troop, but as she turned to go, her gaze met the cold stare of the snake. The reptile had lifted its head, its eyes fixed on her. In that moment, she understood the danger, the very real and deadly danger that was now threatening the people and the troop. With a screech, the snake reared back, preparing to strike. The young female froze, her mind racing. She knew she couldn't outrun the serpent, not with her smaller limbs and less agile body, so she did the only thing she could think of. She leaped, not away from the snake, but towards it, launching herself right into its path. The snake, surprised by this sudden attack, recoiled, giving her the precious seconds she needed. As she scrambled up the nearest tree, her heart pounded against her ribs, her breaths coming in sharp gasps. The snake, shaken but not deterred, slithered after her, its eyes burning with predatory intent. But the young female was ready. She had chosen this tree well. Its branches were thick and sturdy, offering her a safe haven from the slithering beast below. She chattered loudly, urging the others to come, to join her in the tree. As the rest of the troop made their way to her, the snake kept trying to scale the tree, its powerful muscles straining against the rough bark. But it was in vain. The tree was too smooth, its bark too hard for the reptile to climb. At last, with a final heave, the snake gave up. It slid down the trunk and disappeared into the undergrowth, retreating back into the shadows from which it had come. Only then did the monkeys realize the full extent of their peril. Amongst them was the baby, too young to understand the danger that had lurked just below them. The young female slid down the tree, her limbs shaking with the effort of her earlier climb. She approached the huddled mass of the troop cautiously, her eyes searching for any sign of panic or fear. When she saw none, she let out a soft, reassuring chirp. The mother of the baby monkey rushed forward, her eyes wide with gratitude. She embraced the young female, her touch conveying the depth of her thanks. As the sun dipped below the horizon, casting long shadows across the jungle floor, the troop huddled together, the baby nestled safely in his mother's embrace. The young female sat close, her gaze never leaving the infant. Through the night, she kept watch, her ears alert for any sound that might disturb the slumber of the little one. The other monkeys slept, lulled by the rhythm of the jungle, the soft rustle of leaves, the murmur of the nearby waterfall. But the young female remained awake, her eyes scanning the darkness, her muscles tensed, ready to spring into action if any danger should arise. When the first rays of sunlight filtered through the dense canopy, chasing away the lingering shadows of the night, the young female finally relaxed. She leaned against her mother, her eyelids drooping. Now that the immediate danger had passed, her body, which had been tense and alert throughout the night, began to relax. She had faced her fears and emerged not only unscathed, but a hero to her troop. She had proven that courage wasn't just about size or strength, but about the will to act, to step forward when all others would run back. The troop, led by the alpha male, surrounded the young female, their gazes filled with admiration and respect. The alpha, whose battle scars told tales of many a fierce encounter, stepped closer to the young female. He touched her shoulder with his gnarled hand. His eyes, usually hard and sharp, were filled with warmth. His touch and the pride in his eyes were the highest honor the troop could bestow. His silent acknowledgement was a testament to her bravery, a recognition that echoed louder than any cheer. And so, as the jungle stirred to life, celebrating another day, the young female basked in the quiet pride of her troop, knowing that in that one moment of courage, she had not only saved a life, but earned the respect of her entire community. Her act of bravery that night had woven a new chapter in her story, a tale that would be told and retold, reminding every young monkey that true heroism wasn't about size, but about the strength of heart.